Folks, there's something seriously alarming going on with the World Economic Forum and these elites in Davos. And they're saying that we only have 100 days to outpace the next pandemic, which is concerning and alarming, while also realizing that we have more than likely even less time to outpace a growing situation and rapidly approaching crash and crisis here already. And that is, folks, if you were a Bank of America customer, and Bank of America is not the only one, because I got some important news and updates I want to bring you guys. But if you were a Bank of America customer affected recently by the outage, the money being taken out of accounts, being wiped out of accounts, putting some accounts into the negative, into the red, incurring massive amounts of fees and overdrafts and charges and NSFs. Bank of America and Zelle too, which Zelle is pointing the fingers at Bank of America. Bank of America is pointing the finger at Zelle, and then the customer's sitting in the middle like, hey guys, I really don't care whose fault it is at this point. Can you just give me my money, please? Folks, as well as Wells Fargo here, we got a new update that Wells Fargo might owe you some money. Shocker there. Wells Fargo has been in the news a lot here recently, and it usually isn't for good news. If you had a Wells Fargo account between 2011 and 2022, you might be one of the 16 million customers who qualify for damages, and this is according to the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And it says that as part of a $3.7 billion settlement, Wells Fargo has agreed to pay more than $2 billion directly to customers harmed by illegal activity, ranging from incorrect overdraft fees to wrongful foreclosures. All right, so it says here that you could be entitled to money in this $3.7 billion settlement. Oh man, where do I even begin? This is almost like backtracking through the pandemic and through a lot of the things that were going on with, these injections and whatnot. And after the fact, them saying, oh, we're sorry. None of that really mattered. And you guys, just kind of forget it ever happened. Here's a little bit from us to say sorry. But that's not going to cut it, because it says here from illegal activity. So the banks are getting away with illegal activity and getting hit with a slap on the wrist, while you and I are left to suffer the consequences. And the banking situation is a little different than the pandemic situation, because this involves people's money. The other one involved their health, which was a big deal. You guys like if you agree. But either way, this is devastating and can really cripple a lot of families. Overdraft fees, incorrect overdraft fees are taking money out of people's accounts. And it says from 2011 to 2022. So think about it. People have been waiting 11, 12 years for restitution. That's crazy. People can't even make it week to week. They're living paycheck to paycheck, let alone 11, 12 years to get a resolution. And the odds are they're going to restore the loss, but they're not going to restore the opportunity loss. They're not going to restore the missed opportunity on interest received and it says wrongful foreclosures. So can you imagine if you had a home foreclosed on due to illegal banking activity? How could they make you whole on that? How could they make you whole on that? Wells Fargo customers who might be affected include those with car loans, mortgages, or bank accounts. So anybody associated with Wells Fargo could potentially be at risk here, or have been affected. Comment down below if that includes you. It says here, for auto loan customers, illegal practices include prepaid gap coverage that wasn't refunded when loans were paid off early, incorrectly applied payments that led to higher interest charges and fees, and unwarranted auto repossessions. Again, unwarranted auto repossessions. How do you recover from that? How do you recover from that? You have your car repossessed, your credit's going to be destroyed, and 11, 12 years later, they're saying, sorry, we engaged in some illegal activities. Here's a few bucks. For mortgage loan borrowers, damages might be owed for wrongful foreclosures, incorrectly charged fees, and wrongful loan modifications that would have otherwise prevented foreclosure. I mean, these folks are literally stealing money, stealing homes, stealing cars, stealing livelihoods, and they make the news with a statement of illegal activity and they have to pay a small fine. Now, obviously, $3.7 billion isn't a small sum of money, but when you think about it in perspective of Wells Fargo and the access to capital that they have, it is kind of chump change when you think about it. And it says that for bank account holders, some were incorrectly charged overdraft fees on debit and ATM withdrawals, as well as having money unfairly frozen in Wells Fargo suspected a single deposit was fraudulent. Frozen accounts. Now, we've talked about this on previous videos with the reasons behind why Wells Fargo could potentially flag and freeze funds and accounts or just close accounts altogether. And this is only the beginning, folks, because this is just what they got caught with. Can you imagine how much more is going on that we don't know about yet? How much they're sweeping under the rug? And we haven't even entered into this new digital dollar age, this new CBDC, central bank digital currency age, where I can only imagine how much illegal activity is going to go on with that. I'll just leave it at that. It says that the total amount of damages owed to each affected customer will vary. And it says that for automobile repossessions, compensation is at least, but is not limited to $4,000. For mortgage holders that were unable to modify their mortgages to avoid foreclosure, damages averaged $24,125 per claim. Like, you have a home foreclosed on illegally. How does $24,125 make you whole? Please comment down below and let me know, because I don't get it. And it says that for deposit accounts, customers average $100 in damages. And it says here, I'll show it to you guys so you can see it, how to claim the damages. And it says that if you're eligible to receive money, Wells Fargo is required to notify you. In fact, many customers have already received their payments either as a check or credit to their existing accounts. And it says that Wells Fargo spokesperson told CNBC, "We have already proactively communicated with most of the customers who may have been impacted by the matters covered in the settlement, and those efforts are ongoing." So in my opinion, I wouldn't necessarily trust them. I don't know if I would trust any of these banks, really. Which, with that being said, I'm putting together a full, complete list of exactly what I'm going to be doing with my money and where I'll be taking it from and where I'll be putting it for my personal safety. So if you guys are interested, let me know, drop a comment. I'm working on putting that together, and I'll share that with you guys 100% free, because a lot of people have been asking. But just drop a comment down below. Let me confirm that is a high level of interest that you guys have. But Wells Fargo is like, they've engaged in illegal activity. They've illegally foreclosed on and repossessed vehicles wrongfully. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, do I really trust them to contact me and provide me with my settlement? And if that is the case, well, folks, it's been a long time, 11 to 12 years, depending on the situation, depending on the circumstance, depending on when they stole money from you. So if that's the case, I would, and you know or feel as though you may be included in that list, that group of customers or account holders, I would make sure that my information is accurate and up to date with Wells Fargo, even if I've terminated my relationship with them, so that they can contact me and I can receive my portion of the settlement and it doesn't go unclaimed. I'm sure that they would love to see that happen. But I'll continue to bring you guys more information and more updates as they come about. You guys take care, be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.